and Jane Blaine to be on the wall out front. Before that, when I ran for student government, I ran with my cousin Adam. Junior year, I ran for president, he ran for vice president. Our logo was Ryan Squared. Senior year, he was student council president, I was a school board representative. And that was Ryan Squared. And that was the time before I spoke on this stage to the student body, was running for school board rep. The time before that, I was in an air band. And we got third place. You guys don't do that anymore, do you? No. I brought my letter jacket here. I played soccer and ran track, and when I got my letter, my brother Tobin, who's here in the audience, he had already gone through Craig, and my mom did not want to pay for another letter jacket. So she took his letter off and his numbers off and stitched my number and my letter on. And so this is really my brother's letter jacket. He is the father to Mac and Murray Ryan. And so Mac, I would like to give you this letter jacket to have, and then you'll give it to Charlie when you're done with it, all right? It was my hand-me-down, I'm turning it back. First, I want to say thank you. Thank you for this. Thank you for this moment. And this school means a lot more to me than just where I went to high school. When I was at Craig, tough things happened. Right before my junior year started, just in spring training down in the bowl in soccer, my mom and she was out of town visiting my sister. My brother was working for the Janesville Park Service then. He was gone on his job. I was working at McDonald's, the one out by the Olive Garden there. And I worked the late shift the night before. I was going to sleep in, mow the lawn, and the phone rang, and it was my dad's secretary asking where he was. And I thought he was there at the office, and I went to find him, and he had died. And so when something like that happens to you, when you're 16 years old, an unexpected death like that in your family, Craig became more than just a high school to me that year when I came back as a junior. It became a family. The teachers, my fellow students, that's a tough thing to happen. And I can't tell you how much the encouragement and the help and just the friendships that I got here in this building at that time meant to me. My mom went back to school, got on a bus to go to Madison to get a new skill to start a small business. Our grandma moved in with us and she had Alzheimer's. So we had our challenges and we had our difficult things that we dealt with. But it was the friendships that I got here, the extracurricular activities, just the support network that this community right here in Craig, that was so critical to this young person at that time. And that's why I have just such phenomenal memories of this school. It's more than a high school, it's really a family. I went on to college just like anybody else. And what I learned in college were different ideas. I didn't know what I wanted to do going into college, coming out of college. I got out of college and had to get a couple jobs to pay off my loans. Anybody, you don't know what student loans are yet, but you probably will pretty soon. Waited tables, worked at a gym so I could get a free membership, worked on Capitol Hill. Sooner or later, I learned that my calling that I saw for myself, where I could make a difference, was going to be in public service. I saw public service, helping other people, as a great vocation, as a calling. And so I moved back home. I also got kind of homesick. And that's a recurring theme you'll hear here in Janesville. I moved back home when I was 27 years old and ran for Congress. I really didn't think I was going to win, but I ended up winning in the next year. And I've been representing this district ever since then. But I noticed something also about Janesville that I thought I want to share with you that I think is really something special. I went away in my 20s into a big city and went away for college and learned about different places, different people, different things. But then I kept having Janesville pull at me. You don't see it because you're here living it, but when you leave, you realize just how special a community this is. You realize just how special families are and the relationships we have here really are. I look at my own high school class, and I think of my friends who I still have to this day, who are good friends, who are in this community. Ryan's one of them. I think about my buddy Dave Levine, who we still do deer camp every year together. I think Tony and Nikki Ruiz. Tony Ruiz is a buddy of mine. We went to St. Mary's together, Marshall together, Craig together. We shared a locker in that hallway right there. He went off and learned how to be an airplane mechanic at Delta Airlines. He got homesick. Nikki, she was Nikki Zangrevi. She came back, and they now own most of the car washes in town. And they have a great business. I think about Tony and Jen Hummel. Tony Hummel is now coaching our kids how to play basketball. I think about Guy and Elizabeth Carlson. Guy got a great trade as a pipe fitter. Elizabeth works in the dental industry. They live 2 blocks from us. They're raising their kids here. They're having a great life. I think of Jim and Sarah Hodge. My dad took Nancy, what is your mom? No, Nancy, what's her maiden name? No, your mom when she was Conway, Nancy Conway. So Nancy Conway, which is Liza and Maddie's grandmother. Our dad and they dated, and she went to prom with my dad. And Mac, didn't you take Liza Hodge to homecoming? Should I have said that publicly in front of you right now? I'm sorry. I'm thinking of my cousin Adam, who's working at our family earth moving business. I think of Will Sutherland. Went away for a number of years, flew helicopters in the Army. Now he's helping people prepare and save for retirement right downtown here in Janesville. I think of Andy Speth and Katie Speth. Some of the Speth kids are here. Andy and I met at Coach Suter and Morgan basketball camp. Those were the Craig and Parker coaches at the time in the 6th grade. He's been my chief of staff ever since I've been in Congress. I think of all these people I grew up with who may have gone away for some period of time and then came back to Janesville to raise families, to enjoy this community, who are leading, not just living, but leading great lives. And so I just want to say thank you. I want to say thank you for my fellow classmates. I want to say thank you to this community. It's a great place to live, to raise families. When you leave, you don't know how good it is until you've gone. And so there are basically 4 takeaways that I would give you that I learned in my journeys since leaving Craig High School. I always, when I got elected to Congress at a young age, I'd go around and ask the older people, what do you know now that you wish you knew when you started? I mean, that's the benefit of being able to talk to older people who are older and wiser and who've gone through some life experiences. What do you know that I ought to know so I can benefit from your wisdom? There's 4 things I would leave you with. Number 1, keep your friendships going. Keep these great friendships that you have right now, keep them going for the rest of your life, and when you get older, you will be so thankful that you've done that. Number 2, stay focused on who you are and what you want to be. I learned at a young age that in this country, if you apply yourself, if you focus, you can make a huge difference in people's lives. You can make a huge difference in whatever it is you want to do. That's what's great about freedom. So many people who are 15, 16, 17, and 18 in the rest of the world, they don't get to choose where they want to live and what they want to do with their lives. You do. It's a great gift. Don't lose sight of that. Stay focused on who you are. Number 3, be respectful of each other. We're in difficult times. We are living in a time where people have strong opinions. You could say it's a fairly polarized country. Base your thoughts, base your arguments on reason, on respect, not on emotion. It's so easy to get so opinionated about something, to feel so strongly about something. And someone may feel the exact opposite way that you do. They're not evil people. They're not bad people. They just think differently. So take a pause. Be respectful. And what you'll find is if you use reason, if you use deep thinking, not just emotion, that you'll be able to persuade more people to your point of view. But more importantly, by being respectful of others, you might learn a thing or two. That's one thing I wish I had known a lot long ago. Number 4, when bad things happen to you, And bad things are going to happen to you in your life. There's just no two ways about it. It's life. When bad things happen to you, don't let those bad things define you. Don't let those bad things knock you down. Don't let those bad things make you mope. Make those bad things motivate you. Learn from those bad things. When our dad died, we didn't see that one coming. That was a very bad thing. But it didn't define us. It motivated us. So those are just the things that I wish I had known when I was leaving here when I was 18 years old into life. And so all I want to do is say, you do me great honor by doing this. My daughter Liza is going to be a freshman here next year. And not far after that, our sons Charlie and Sam are coming here as well. And so, thank you. Thank you for being a great community. Thank you for this great honor. God bless, and go Cougars. Thank you.